Good morning or good afternoon, dear students. For today's lesson, there was also some homework we are going to discuss. This will be a short clip because there wasn't that many questions. It was only question 13 till question 17. And here you can see a copy of the periodic table. And it will become more clear in a minute why this is important. I think the most questions weren't that hard. And if you have any questions about this short clip, please send me a message using Teams or using my Magister, and I'll hope I can explain or I can make it more clear. For question 13, answering the questions below, why is oxygen called an element and water is not? Oxygen consists of one type of atoms, only oxygen, the O, while water consists of two types of atoms, H2O, so two atoms hydrogen and one atom oxygen. Which three types of particles make up an atom of copper? Those are the neutrons and protons, and those are in the nucleus, and electrons are like in a cloud surrounding the nucleus. Which of these particles are in the nucleus? So those are what I just said, protons and neutrons. And when are there two atoms isotopes of the same element? That's an important part of this paragraph. The same amount of protons, but there's a different amount of neutrons. And using the more questions, I hope the term isotope will become more clear. Question 14, explain what is meant by the atomic number of an element. It's the place on the periodic table, and it's the amount of protons, or the number of protons in the nucleus. The mass number of an isotope, what's that? That's the amount of protons plus the amount of neutrons. Also, what is in the nucleus of an atom. That's equal to the mass number. Question 15. The Hoffman apparatus can be used to decompose water. One tube then contains hydrogen gas and the other tube contains oxygen gas. Explain why hydrogen and oxygen are generated while water is broken down and not, for instance, nitrogen or carbon. It's not that hard. H2O, water, consists of H atoms and O atoms. There are no nitrogen or carbon in water molecules. And nitrogen is the N and carbon is C. So that's not possible when H2O is decomposed that there will be nitrogen or carbon. Only H and O atoms. B, twice as many hydrogen molecules as oxygen molecules are generated when water is broken down. Well, H2O are made out of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. So it's quite logic that there will be twice the amount of hydrogen molecules compared to the amount of oxygen molecules. Methane, question 16, is the most important component of natural gas. Which elements are generated when methane is decomposed? Explain, well, carbon and hydrogen, because methane is made out of carbon and hydrogen. There isn't that much more to explain. Question 17 and last one. Figure 9 shows a schematic drawing of 4 atomic nuclei. Which nuclei are the same element, and how can you tell? It's atom 1, 2, and 4 because they have the same amount of protons. Well, this was the clip for question 13 to 17. If you have any questions, send me a message. I think most answers are quite clear